This is the Moreish Podcast, where Caribbean history meets culture and cuisine. Hi, it's Hema. Thank you for joining me for the very last episode of 2024. It has been a year since I started this podcast. Thank you to everyone for listening, for joining the journey as we uncover the history, the food, and the stories of the Caribbean. Of course, Moreish, Season 1 co-host, thank you, and all of the incredible guests who shared their knowledge along the way. This podcast has been a labor of love. It's been eye-opening. It's connected me to some amazing people, and at times it's been stressful. People have said the topic is too niche, no one will listen, but we've had listeners from all over the world. Our Caribbean history, culture, and stories are important, and I will continue to share. I love getting messages from listeners who feel connected to a topic we've covered, who feel seen, and who want to learn more. It isn't always positive feedback, though. The episode, for example, with the team from Slave Voyages stirred up some feelings, and I get it. Talking about slavery and indentured servitude, colonization can be heavy topics, but it is a part of the history of the Caribbean, and it deserves to be told and deserves to be shared. Before we dive into the final episode, let me thank everyone who has listened to one episode or multiple episodes. Thank you to everyone who has reached out, who have connected me with historians, Caribbean food and culture experts, people who follow the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thank you. There's so much more coming in 2025. If you would like to support the show, subscribe and listen. Follow us on social media. Share a comment, ask a question, and if you're so inclined, you can support with a monthly contribution. All of those links will be down in the show notes. Now, on to the final episode of the year. This is a little bit of fun. It's a bonus episode that came out of a conversation I had with Devonne Adanna. She's a storyteller. She talks about Caribbean culture and neurodivergent parenting. And as we were wrapping up the episode on Tobago culture and food, we continued chatting, and I kept recording. I'll link to her socials in the show notes down below. You should go follow her. She has some amazing historical information about the Caribbean. Enjoy the episode, and I will see you in 2025. Let me ask you a question. The name of my podcast is the Moreish Podcast.
Mhm.
Do you know what Moreish means?
The way it's spelled threw me off. So it's M-O-R-E. But I was thinking it was M-O-O-R. And is it more-ish? I mean, again, it's like how I like to, how I like to get to places on time-ish.
What's really interesting to me is the word Moorish is something that I grew up with, and I'm asking you because I didn't know if it was something that was very prevalent in Tobago. It comes from a British word,
Mm.
which essentially means if you're eating something and it's delicious, you call it Moorish because I want more of it. And
Mm.
so it is something that I know from Trinidad, but that's the British influence that maybe did not
Is
make
it
it to
Tobago?
Tobago.
I don't want to say, because now that you're saying this, I'm thinking I've heard Jamaicans say like that Maurishy, but that is not what came to my mind. I'm thinking MOOR, but I was like, I I I didn't I couldn't make, because but I was like, no, maybe it's more of something. But in terms of using it in day-to-day language in Tobago, I can't say
Yeah.
that I've ever, and Tobagonians do not come for me if I say that I ever heard it, because they may be saying, Well, how dare you? How dare you say that? We say this all the time." I don't know. Nobody's ever said it to me.
Not every person from the Caribbean knows this word. It is a word that I know. But I like to ask people because it is different from country to country and place to place who
Yeah.
knows what I'm referring to. And I just think, in Trinidad as in Tobago, we use a lot of words that came from the British, like pram
Yes.
for baby stroller,
Yes.
Moreish is a word that is also part of the
Or
lexicon now
even
for me.
pram pram. Pram is like it is so or skullduggery. Skullduggery is somebody
Yes.
who I get what I find fascinating about Trinidad and Tobago culture, we have a lot of words for like corruption, stupid, I mean, and I'm like, you know. So like corruption, we have bubble, and then like for darling, we have doo-doo. Doo-doo,
Yes.
so which is very French, very, very French. So yes, what I guess I would more say I've more heard tea fish. Like, I'm wearing this top and you're like, oh my God, that top's so tea fish, meaning I would take it from you. you know,
We like to use ish
we
because
do.
then there's sometime ish.
Yes, right. Yeah, or five-ish, eight-ish.
But some of the other words that come from other places that we now use, things like gallivanting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy.
bramble.
Mm, Say that again?
That's not bramble.
Where's Bramble?
Bramble is like a pile of
Bush?
sticks.
Oh, stick. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. But okay, but how would you use it?
like you're cutting down plants or something. It's like a pile of bramble that you have to clean
Oh
up.
no, we
Oh,
say a
get rid
pile
of
of
that bramble.
bush. We say a pile of bush in Tobago. Would
Oh,
not use
see,
Bramble.
interesting.
Bramble seems so British to me.
It is. It is very much, very much. But it's interesting the language differences slightly. There's, a mix in Trinidad and Tobago of French. In
Hmm.
Trinidad, certainly there's a lot of words that are based in Hindi.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's a lot of words based in Spanish
Yeah.
that made its way. And I don't know if all of those are common words used in Tobago.
Mm. I mean, yeah, I think. I think if you use Bramble, people would would wonder where she's from. But you know,
But like pram and gallivanting,
yes,
these are
of
words.
course, yeah,
What do you call a frog?
crapple,
Crapple.
yeah,
French.
yeah. But what do you guys call it?
That same thing.
Okay, all
Crapple.
right.
But that's based in
Yes,
French.
yes, that is yeah, because crapple smoke your pipe, which is as you know, you don't want that.
Oh,
You don't want that.
I know I know crapple smoke your pipe. Please tell everybody what that
Okay.
means.
So let's say you are out and about as a teen and your curfew has come and gone, but you have not been keeping track of time. But your mother clearly said to you before you left home, Miss Lady or Mr. Man, if you do not get in my house by such and such time, crapo smoke your pipe. Meaning, who knows what manner of punishment will be meted out to you once you get back there post curfew time. So crapo smoke your pipe just means like, oh, things are gonna be bad. It's not gonna be
You're
good. It's not a good.
you're in
You're in
trouble if
trouble.
crapple smoke your pipe.
Yes, yes. So yeah.
We have some sayings that don't make any sense, but I wonder if it's the translation that doesn't make sense, but in the original language, maybe it
Makes
is
sense.
makes more sense. If you hear somebody say, hello, hi,
Oh my
how do you feel?
god. Well, besides rushed, I mean, I'm like, oh, boy. Okay, whoa, what you need? Hello,
Hello,
hi.
hello,
Yeah.
hi, hello, hi.
This, I'm wondering if they're well, it depends. If it's like, hi, excuse, meaning stop what you're doing, please, so I don't know where this hi come from. I don't know, but hi or hi, like, why are you doing that? But hello, hi is like,
Uh,
excuse me, how dare you?
you're doing something wrong if
Exactly.
you hear
Yes,
a hello,
hi,
hi.
Miss Lady. My son likes to be like, Mr. Man, Mr. I'm like, you need to stop. But yeah, but even like with words, like, okay, so the words that mean stupid, like kunumunu, right? With the mumu. Oh my God. And you know what's funny with mumu? I see a lot of West Africans using it in like commenting, like even if something like if something's funny or somebody and they'll be like,
Hmm.
"Yes, I'm mumu," and I'm like, oh, I never thought about it before, but it's directly an African word, and I'm like, that is so.
Yeah.
I assume kunumunu is too, but I don't know for sure. But we have so many words to mean stupid, and so many sayings.
Yeah.
You're right. Like Tobago has a lot of sayings that Trinis have never heard. Like so, like the regular ones like all skin teeth and a laugh and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
to be my mother wrote like funny enough. I mean, I she wrote an entire book about it, the Caribbean proverbs that raised us. So
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
yeah. So
I have to read
oh
that.
my God, you would actually love it. One hand can't clap. Fisherman never say fish rotten. One of my favorite ones is Mapenda house a bun, Mapenda no key. Who Mapenda want to key. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What
very.
is that?
So
What does that mean?
it's like okay, it's like let's say we're doing this podcast, you're supposed to get here for 5 o'clock. Nothing is set up. I come here, nothing is set up. It's 6 o'clock. Thing. So your house burning down and you don't care about it. So who's supposed to care about it? Me? you know? So, and there's so many beautiful ones where horse does reach, jackass does reach, right? Meaning, yeah, meaning if somebody better than you could get there, you could get there too. Like, donkey maybe a little slower, but and horse get there quicker, but you'll get there. When a
You'll
meet you
get
and
there.
pass you, that's like if you're like, you're making fun of somebody because let's say they're sick, and you're like, you sick, but sick has not passed you yet. Don't
Mm.
don't make fun of them. And then the big one that is very Tobago, well, it's very popular in Tobago is pig asking mama, make him mouth long so. And mama say, gal, a come ya come. So, yeah. So it's like, Mom, you so old, you're so old. And the mommy is like, you're gonna be there one day, don't worry, you're gonna be right there with me. So anytime you're doing something in Tobago and somebody say, come ya come, you meaning, you see it just now, you two will be right there, you know. They're beautiful ones. No matter how big mule grow, jackass is still a daddy. Meaning, no matter how big you get, I'm still gonna be a mom. So respect me,
Hmm.
you know? But yeah, just real nice,
There's
beautiful one
there's
there.
so
Yeah.
many sayings that come from different places
Yeah.
and that can be confusing to people. Um, and I'm gonna wrap this up, but I want to say if you're going to Trinidad and Tobago, a very nice way to greet people is good morning,
Yes.
good afternoon, good evening,
Good night. Not good evening.
good night.
Yeah.
Good night. Thank you. You are correct.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. People always used to get on me in university for that. They're like, wait, what, good night? Are you leaving? Didn't you just get here? I'm like, oh. I'd be like, good night, good night. Yeah. And they're like,
Yeah. Hello, good
yeah,
night is a nice greeting.
you know. It is. But yes, you are correct. Please don't, please, we're very big on something called brought up C, and saying very courteousness and manners are huge in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mhm.
So if you're going there, please brush up on it. We don't step into rooms or shops or elevators and not tell the entire place good morning or good night. And it's also you have to say it twice. Morning, morning.
And if you ask somebody for directions, you cannot write them
No.
down. You have to be able to identify trees
Yes.
and
Mhm.
bushes because they're going to tell you to turn left by the fig tree
Yes.
or by
Yes.
somebody's
You're so
house is the
correct.
landmark.
The landmark is a tree. And if you do not know trees, crapo smoke your pipe.
Devonne, thank you so much for this little language lesson. It was so much fun. And tell me the name of that book again.
It's the Caribbean proverbs that raised us. My mom wrote it. Yeah, it's actually quite a popular book, and that in the Caribbean people talk about it.
And what's your mom's name?
The name is Deborah Moore Miggins. Deborah Moore Miggins.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Moreish Podcast. Connect with us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the Moreish Podcast. See you for the next episode.